Hey everyone, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break here on a Thursday. Just a short episode to give you some insights and tools to help you be successful in your career and in your business. And speaking of success, one of the most important things for a business is to stay on top of ordering and inventory. It's one of the most important, but not necessarily one of the most fun. It's kind of a pain sometimes, especially when you have inaccuracies that lead to a lot of wasted time and money and opportunities with your guests when you don't have what you need on the shelf to sell them. So that is where our sponsor today comes in to help. ODEKO is taking the pain out of the inventory and ordering process. Now, what does ODEKO do? ODEKO uses artificial intelligence to put your sales data to work for you. They couple all your past sales with local weather, events, and more to predict exactly what your shop is going to need in the future. Their virtual purchasing agent then takes that information and automatically places orders based on those predictions. This is automated, centralized, and optimized ordering for your cafe, and it scales with your cafe when you're going from 1 to 2 stores and helps that journey be a little bit less bumpy, And so this is really a great product that I think you should try in your shop. In order to do that, you need to go to this link, odeko.com/keys to the shop. Try it out in your shop and see how they can take the pain out of inventory and ordering and save you time and money in the process. All right, so today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the power of saying no, and maybe not the power of saying no, but kind of the necessity to say no for preservation of your business and your vision and your ideas. It wasn't too long ago that I was talking with a client about how somebody had approached her with a proposal for putting their product in her soon-to-be open store. And how, there was, this presentation of all these merits that it had. It was a product that this person had already been producing, but maybe not as successfully as he would have liked. And it was obvious to me that this person was trying to use my client's business as a place for their product to be successful and not necessarily taking a successful product and putting it in my client's business. We decided against it. And, some tactful ways of going about that. But ever since then, I've been thinking about this and how this is not unique to people opening a business. The fact that if you're on the road to opening a coffee shop, this is true. If you're already years into opening or having opened your coffee shop, this is true too, that when people see you starting to take action and they start to see that you're actually doing the thing that you said you were going to do, which is start a coffee shop, something in them is motivated to jump up at that opportunity and see if they can, hitch a ride on that shooting star, if you know what I mean. They're trying to get a piece of what they believe will be your success. And as flattering as that may seem, and as many people want their product in your store, you can only have so many things. And most of this appeals to the fear that if you don't have it, you're going to miss out, or your customers are going to be angry that you don't have it. And this is where we start to see people have 25 different types of syrups and sauces. They have a menu that's almost impossible to read because as soon as they start to travel down that rabbit hole of sandwiches or smoothies or flavors or whatever it is, there's always another option like, not everybody likes orange, so maybe we need raspberry, but not everyone likes raspberry, so maybe we need strawberry. And you just keep going down that path like, I've got more counter space. I suppose I can put another syrup on there. And then you're building up a ton of inventory of things that aren't going to sell very fast, and you're making it confusing for the customer. And most of that is because you haven't learned how to say no to certain propositions that people give you for their product. You have to start somewhere. I'm not saying that you don't put other people's brands in your store. You want to get some syrups and sauces, that's great. But you've got to embrace the idea that you have to have a limited selection that either proves or doesn't prove itself over time. And I'm not going to have the amount of time necessary to talk to you about the amounts you're going to need for opening your shop or what's smart to start with and all that. But what I want to encourage you to do is take a step back and see how many of your decisions are born from fear of missing out, or fear of maybe it's not FOMO, it's FOPO, like fear of pissing off. You don't want to piss people off because you don't have their favorite sugar-free syrup, and you might end up with 6 sugar-free syrups on your counter. The point here is you got to be able to stand your ground on your original vision for a good bit of time and see how things work and make educated decisions on what you're going to take away and what you're going to add. Those educated decisions come from your sales reports. They come from talking with your customers that you've developed over time. They come from talking to the employees about what they've experienced using the product. Maybe even what you've experienced from the vendors themselves. And there's some people that are just really hard to work with, and even though their product is great, it's just not worth the stress. All of this stuff happens over time, and there's no magic formula that equals success. There's no magic number of syrups or sauces or a magic array of brands that are going to make people flock to your cafe. In saying yes to too many things, you're basically saying no to success. Maybe sounds pithy. It's like some kind of an inspirational quote you might see on an Instagram success channel, but it's true. You're losing your identity. You're outsourcing your identity. We have enough coffee bars that look like every other coffee bar, and I get it. It's scary sometimes to think that you might be excluding people. But in my experience, in over 20 years of serving customers across the bar, managing the operations of many a coffee shop, there are rarely any people who are going to walk out of a coffee bar because you don't have the exact product that they want. Most people walk out of a cafe and never come back because of the lack of quality of what they order, or because of a lack of a quality experience and hospitality. So with that in mind, don't let your coffee shop be a storage unit for other people's brands and ideas. Let it be a platform for your ideas that other people's brands support. And by being able to resist the urge to say yes to people because you want to seem nice, you're basically giving yourself a better chance at success and building up the confidence that you're going to need in the future to make better decisions as the business grows and more is on the line. These are the training grounds for that kind of confidence. So I hope that this episode was helpful for you. I really want to see you succeed in your coffee venture. And I think that what we talked about in today's episode is one of the key things that you're going to need to make a great impression on your customers and have a sustainable coffee bar. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you here next week for another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.